On today's video, I'm going to show you how to add custom subscribe button to your WordPress site. So I wanted to add subscribe buttons to my WordPress website where I host my audio and video podcasts. I looked at plugins and I looked at Blueberry PowerPress's subscribe widget and was not happy with the way any of them looked. My wife called them ugly. So I figured I'd write a little custom HTML and do it myself. Wait, don't stop watching now. I'm going to show you an easy way to generate custom HTML using the post editor that comes with WordPress. If you'll see here, these are my custom buttons that I've created, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make those. So the first thing we need to do is find suitable images for our subscribe buttons. If we just simply Google subscribe buttons, and there they are. And so let's take this one, for example, and that's a nice big one. We're going to save this image to our hard drive. It says iTunes logo. Let's go to downloads and save that guy. Now, I found that the image width of 100 pixels was about right for use in a side widget. If you have an image editor like Photoshop, GIMP, or Microsoft Photo Ed, resizing called scaling is fairly simple. If you don't, there are free websites like pickresize.com that allow you to resize images easily. Let me take you through that process. If you want to use mine, just go to scientifichealer.com/radio. Then right-click on the image and save image as. And that way you can just copy mine and you don't have to go through this trouble resizing them. Let's go to pickresize.com and we'll select a picture. We'll pick the one that we just downloaded, which was the iTunes logo. Open that guy. And then, as I mentioned, I found that the pick custom size, that the 100 pixel width is the best for the sidebar widget. So we're not going to add any special effects, and so we're going to resize my picture. So it's now 100 by 37, and let's save it to disk, and you'll see it, there it is. It's now called rsz_itunes_logo.jpg. Once you've created all of your images and all of your buttons, and we're going to do, for this tutorial, we're going to do iTunes, Android, and YouTube. Then we need to upload them to the WordPress site. So go to Media, Add New. Select Files. And here's our file that we just created. Now, I'm assuming that you will have created all three of your buttons, and so you could choose all three of them and upload them all at the same time. In this particular case, we're going to upload this one. Now for the fun. Open your post editor and add your headings and images. So here you'll see I've got my headings: subscribe to my audio podcast, subscribe to my video podcast, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here's the buttons, and they're all 100 pixels wide. So what we need to do is we need to add our subscribe links to them. So click on the image, click on the edit pencil, and under custom URL, you'll paste your subscribe URL. In this case, this is an iTunes. We've gotten this URL from iTunes. It tells us where our podcast is, and we would paste that in here under custom URL, and then we would update that. The same goes for the Android. Click on the Android, and there's the subscribe Android link for our particular webcast. And then down here on YouTube, we've pasted our YouTube channel with the sub_confirmation equals 1. That requires when somebody goes to your YouTube channel, it asks them, it has a pop-up and it asks them to subscribe. So that's a real handy thing to do when you're making a YouTube subscribe button, is to put after the address of your YouTube channel, put the question mark, sub_confirmation equals 1 in your, add that to your URL, and then I'll show you what that looks like. So when you click on that, and it takes you to YouTube, you'll get this little guy pop up here, and it asks you if you want to subscribe to the channel, which is really awesome for getting people to subscribe. They don't have to think about it, and they just do it. Now, a couple of things about formatting that we need to consider here. So let's go back to our deal. The button that you're going to have on the left needs to be aligned left. And the button that you're going to have on the right also needs to be aligned right. And you're just going to have to trust me on this, because I tried a bunch of different configurations before it would work properly on my widgets. So that's the way it is. When it looks like you want it to in the post editor, make sure you save it as a draft. Save as draft. You don't need or want to publish this post because you don't want anybody else seeing it. This is just a work area for you. Then switch the editor to text mode and add paragraph tags around the heading and button code for that heading. So this particular heading is subscribe to my audio podcast. So we'd want to add a paragraph tab. That's the less than P greater than P to the beginning of the heading. And then we need to make sure we add one to the end of the second button. And we need to do a close P by putting a slash there. And so that creates a paragraph out of the title and the buttons. And briefly, the reason for that is that WordPress wants to wrap text around the images, so you'll end up with the headings where you don't want them to if you don't add the paragraph tags. At this point, if we haven't made any glaring errors, we're ready to copy the code and paste it into the custom HTML widget. Quick note, do not save a draft of the post after adding the paragraph tags. WordPress will remove the paragraph tags when you save it and when you toggle it from text to visual mode and back. So put your cursor anywhere in here, and then on a Mac you're going to hit Command A. On a PC you're going to hit Control A, and that will highlight everything. Then on a Mac you'll hit Control C. On a PC you'll hit Control C. On a Mac you'll hit Command C to copy that. Then we're going to go to Appearance, Widgets. And yes, it's okay to leave the site because it's giving us that error because we haven't saved it. And we don't want to save it because then the little P's will go away. So what you'll do at this point is you'll drag a custom HTML widget onto your primary sidebar like this. And the title will be Subscribe to My Channels. And then over here in the content, we're going to, on a Mac, we're going to hit Command V. On a PC, we're going to hit Control V. And we're going to paste everything. Now, if there are no errors, it will allow you to save it, and it won't give you any error messages. So let's go back here and just delete this final tag here, and you'll see we get this red X. And if you hover over it, it'll tell you what's wrong with it. It'll say tag must be paired. It's missing the closing paragraph tag. So all we have to do at that point, it just told us what to do, is go back in and add it. And we're not showing an error, and we're good to go, and we can save it. Now in this particular case, I have, in order to show you how to do this, I've put another custom HTML widget. So when we go to look at it, we're going to see two sets of these things. Once you've finished your paste, click the Save button, then visit your site to admire your handiwork. Okay, here's the one that we just created. And as you see, since we added it above the one that was already there, so now we have two of them. And if for whatever reason you accidentally do that, you can always go back to widgets, and we'll take the one that we just created and we'll delete it, and we'll go back to the site, and there it is. Isn't that pretty? Please click the thumbs up button to like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions or need a little help, post them in the comments below. Also, let me know if you'd like help making your own videos.